Hello, good evening. This is a night practice. I haven't done a night class yet since I've been here. I just got back from a really nice run and a little nighttime sunset swim, and so I figured I would just top all of that off with a simple stress relieving before bed type of gentle flow, and so I welcome you to join me. Let's start off in child's pose whenever you're ready. Just gonna press the hips back, stretch the hands out, and you can leave your knees and thighs together if you like the sensation of really putting your belly right on top of your thighs. Otherwise, you can open the knees wide, make some space to relax the chest, the heart center, the belly down. I'm gonna just stay in this smaller version. Make some adjustments until you're comfortable, and then just let everything relax. Take the tension out of the shoulders, out of the back of the neck, out of your forehead. And then just take 5 slow, smooth, steady, and satisfying breaths in and out. If you're comfortable breathing through your nose, fantastic. Otherwise, try in through the nose and maybe softly exhale out through the mouth. And after your 5th cycle of breath, make sure that you feel like you've got yourself centered and grounded. And then go ahead and draw your weight up to hands and knees. And just start to move around a little bit here. Just swinging the hips from side to side. Rolling out the head, neck. Stretching out the spine, a little bit of cat back if that feels good, or you can always let your belly drop. Shift your weight back a little bit for a cow stretch. Next time you come through tabletop, just curl the toes and lift the knees, or a brief downward facing dog. Like I said, this practice is going to be pretty stress-free, pretty easy breezy. So nothing too dramatic here, just long enough. Stretch through the hamstrings. And then we'll inhale. Let's take the left side first. And we're going to draw the knee forward and find our pigeon position. So this is kind of a big posture right off the bat. If you feel like you need to shift your weight over and make some adjustments with how much of an angle you've got going on from the knee to the ankle, go right ahead. Think about your right frontal hip bone and turn it down toward the ground, or even better, toward this ankle bone that's underneath of you. And then relax to the forearms. Make sure you don't let your shoulders come back up here in your ears. Keep the sides of the neck long. I even suggest dropping your head and pulling your chin in towards your chest just to really open up the cervical spine, those first 7 vertebrae that run through the neck. And then return to your deep breathing. So encourage yourself, even if it's closing the eyes, whatever it is that draws you back inward, and stay in tune, in touch with your breathing. Notice how many different places in your body you can feel the breath. So maybe a little rise and fall along your spine. I like to think about the back side of my heart center, space between the shoulder blades there. And then see if you can breathe deep into your belly. 5 more full breaths here, in and out. Continue to relax wherever possible. Three, 2, you can start to walk yourself back up to your hands. Good. And then on 1, take your hands around to the left a little bit, just enough to feel a stretch right here along the right side body. Go ahead, release, and now let all of your weight fall into that left hip again. So no pressure in the knee. And we can comfortably swing the back leg around, take it to the front, and then I'm just going to pull my left foot right into position here for Janu Shirshasana. This looks exactly like tree pose on the ground. Good. Weight will come forward now over the right side. And let it be just that. Just let it feel like the body's getting heavy. Not like you're forcing a stretch here. This is just soft surrender. If you are lucky enough to be able to reach your foot, you can give yourself a little foot massage. Or at least just press along the knuckles of your toes and squeeze the bottom of your foot. Find some of those good pressure points there. Same thing, just kind of running your fingers and your thumbs along, squeezing those little meaty calf muscles. And get your fingers in the well of your knee, the backside of your knee. Just push around in there a little bit. Encourage some of those tight little tendons to loosen up. And then come on up and sit tall. And as you come to rise, we'll bring the right knee up close to us. And we're going to pull this left foot now completely underneath so that we're set up for a little twist. If you want a deeper stretch for your IT band, pick your right foot up and cross it all the way outside. All right, rotate around to the right. I'm going to bring your left elbow to hook around your knee, or you can hug the knee in closer. Find the arm position that works best for you. Take a deep breath in, sit really tall, and on your exhale, start your rotation. Breathe in, breathe out. Really work to get every drop of your exhale out here. 2. And 1. Come around. Take the little counter twist to the other side. And again, it might feel good to just walk your hands out like we did at the end of our pigeon pose. Usually you can find a pretty good stretch for your back. You can keep walking those hands further around toward the back edge of your mat and even drop to 1 or 2 forearms, depending on how much stretch you're looking for here. And next deep inhale, come on up. All right, around to the front. We'll just release that ankle and tuck it underneath. Bring yourself to hands and knees. From there, you can step back to a plank or just lift right through to downward facing dog. And then in between sides, we're going to put a little moon salutation in here. So bring your gaze forward and slowly take a little walk up toward the top of your mat. When you arrive, a big exhale to fold over the legs. And roll it slowly all the way up to stand. Get the shoulders a couple little shakes loose. And then bring your hands to your heart. First time we've been up on our feet, so just make sure you take a moment to really feel that change, the shift in energy when you rise up off the ground. Got 2 flat feet on the ground here. Root down through your toes, lift through the crown of your head. Take a moment to simply be happy and grateful to be here, alive, breathing, on your mat, taking good care of your body. And then let your eyes open up. We'll circle the arms overhead, full breath in. A nice, slow, deep exhale, dive down to the ground. Half lift. Exhale, crouch and curl. Get your body really low. Squeeze your belly against your thighs against your belly. Draw your forehead in towards your kneecaps. Just hold that stretch for a moment. If you can get your palms flat on the ground, push into the earth. And then inhale, lift your gaze. On your exhale, step your left foot back and come into a nice deep lunge. And we're just going to hold that lunge position. I'm going to move my foot forward a little bit. There we go. Leaning slightly forward here. So what I'm feeling is a hip flexor stretch on the left. And then on the next breath in, we'll sweep the arms up and over. And bring them right back down. Good. Take it to downward facing dog. Try not to drag that right foot if you can. From your downward facing dog, exhale completely and then right away drop to your knees. We'll do half camel instead of full camel stretch here. So we're just going to slide the hands alongside us. I'll turn to the side just so you can see this. Until your hands end up right behind you. And then lift your heart. Lift your gaze, lift your hips, and stretch right across your shoulders and your heart center. 2 and 1. Slowly lower your hips down. Good. As you come forward, find child's pose and stretch your arms out in front. Just a full exhale here. And from your child's pose, slither like a snake out onto your belly. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Elbows stay tucked in by the ribs. We're not coming off the ground below the belly button, right? Everything's connected to the ground, just like a little snake. Exhale, release. Put it in reverse. Take it back to child's pose. Hips to the heels for a quick stretch. Sit up on your inhale. You move through hero. Put your hands behind you. Lift your heart. Squeeze your legs together. Open up your chest. And exhale, release. Rock forward to hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Look forward. Left foot steps up. Right knee comes down. We're going to hold that deep lunge. Now we're getting this flexor stretch on the right side. When you're happy and satisfied, use your low belly muscles. So we're talking deep transverse abdominis. Pull those low abs in as your hands come off the mat. That's what's going to stabilize you here so you can go for a little bit bigger lunge. Taking the arms up, reach long through the side bodies. 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down. We'll come off the back knee and step forward back to our crouch and curl. Get in there nice and low. You want to wrap your arms around your legs. Make it a little bit more of a balance challenge. You sure can. Notice how strong this will make your ankles. And then release. Hands down, hips up high, exhale, fold. Half lift once again. And then a little vinyasa here if you want one. Stepping, walking, hopping back. You can move through the full half vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, or you can just push right back to downward facing dog, and then we're going to bring that right knee forward for pigeon. So other side now. Again, I'm going to make a little adjustment here. Move my foot up a tad. Make sure my knee feels pretty good. Working to square the hips. It's kind of a funny term, right? Because your hips are always sort of naturally square, but direct them forward and down. So if you're wondering if it's cold here, not at all. I just have long sleeves and long pants on because at nighttime there's a pretty decent mosquito population that comes out. So in order to be comfortable while we do yoga and at night, it helps to put some sleeves and pants on. And it just finished raining, so the air is like kind of extra thick feeling right now. Prime mosquito time. But we're not going to think about that because we're relaxing. Right? Clear some space in your mind. Go back to your breath. I'm hoping that the little kokis, the little frogs that live in all these trees, I hope they start singing while we're doing this because they're so cool to hear. So maybe you guys will get to hear them. I don't know if it's probably not late enough yet, but you never know. All right, come on up. Good. And then we're just going to do that little twisting maneuver where we take both hands over to the right for a second. Don't lay on that right hip just yet. Just by moving the hands, what we're getting at here, again, is this lower, deep side body stretch. There is a little tensor fasciate ligament right there. TFL is its nickname. And you'll know it when you get it. It's kind of a dull, aching sensation of a stretch, but it's a hard spot to get at. Bring my hands back around. Now we'll sit down on that hip and slowly pull the back leg around. Okay, get yourself all positioned in your little seated tree stretch here. Hands reach out. You can find your foot, squeeze it a couple times, push on tops of the toes, the bottom of your foot. And then anywhere else along your calf, all the way up to that back side of the knee. Leaving a few breaths for just finding that surrender again. on up, big inhale. And bring that knee with you. Once you've stood the left knee up, tuck the right foot under and maybe even swing your left heel to hook outside the knee. Speaking of hooking, we're going to hook the elbow or give that knee a little hug. Whatever gives you the best leverage to sit tall. Breathe in first. Just imagine that breath is coming from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head, and then exhale, rotate from there. Good. Again, inhale, breathe. Nice and long through the spine. Exhale, twist. Couple more. 2. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Unwind. Bring it around the other way. Walk your hands maybe just a little bit further toward the back of your mat. You want to drop down to a forearm there, you sure can. And then back around. All right, rock back. Tuck the ankles underneath. Roll forward to the hands and knees. Good, we're gonna sneak one more moon salutation in here. Tucking the toes, lift the hips up. Back to your downward facing dog. Step, walk, or hop to the top. Now that you know what the movements are, we'll go a little quicker through this one. And fold. Inhale, reverse. Rise all the way up to the top. Stretch it out. And dive back down. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, crouch and curl. Squeeze in. Lift the gaze. Again, left foot steps back, always moving the left foot in a moon salute. This time we'll go right up to the full lunge. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come back down. Tuck your back toes, downward facing dog, big breath out. Drop to the knees, and on your inhale, sit back on your heels, lift your heart, Ardha Ustrasana. Your hips, exhale, release forward, and now you just move through child's pose, like a transition. Slide right out to the belly. Good. Lift into cobra. And release. Reverse it back to child's pose. Again, really just a transitional movement here. Roll right up through the spine. Hands slide until they find the space behind you. Heart goes up again. Exhale, the hips drop, rock forward. Downward facing dog. Big breath out. Left foot steps through. Down onto the back. Arms reach up, circle around. And exhale, drop right back down to the ground. Gaze forward, step up, and crouch down. Inhale here. And exhale, release. Forward fold. All the way back up. Last time you'll be on your feet right here. And dive down. All right. Final opportunity for a soft vinyasa if you'd like, or step back and hold your downward facing dog. And then we'll come through one more time to a seated position, just long enough to put the bottoms of the feet together for a moment. Hold on, clamp your feet together with your fingers by making a little basket of interlaced fingers with toes in between, and then just squeeze everything in. I'm going to keep my elbows in for a breath or two, and if you walk your hip bones forward a little bit, you might even be able to let your elbows kind of help you gently push down on your legs. And then come up and go right back in, this time elbows out in front of the shins. Now really round your back and focus on your lumbar spine here, low back. And dig it back up. All right, zip those legs back together and roll down onto your back. A little bit of core strength will help there. Give the knees a squeeze in. There we go. Oh. Quick little spinal twist. Knees to the right. Inhale through center, knees to the left. Okay, back to the middle. Pull it all in one final time. And then when you're happy and you're satisfied with that, just release. Get yourself in a really comfortable Shavasana. Now, maybe it's not nighttime for you right now, but if you are doing this practice at night, you might as well just get full-blown restorative. Maybe even you can get some pillows up under the legs or the back, or just go crawl in bed. And let your body just soak that up. I always say that at the end, but it's such a good visual of just imagining your body being able to absorb, like a sponge, all that kindness and compassion that you just showed yourself. Having a little soft movement or a stretch before you're getting ready for bed is just a fantastic way to make sure that you sleep better. Not only does it help you fall asleep quicker, but it'll help you stay asleep longer. And on that note, I'm going to let you stay right where you're at. And I'll say thank you, and I'm going to go crawl into my bed because I'm pooped out. So have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks for taking good care of yourself. Namaste.